Oh, yeah. Monday. Special time of show. Not usually on at this time. I'm glad to be here. New week, new work week. We'll need new pope. Unfortunately, for all the Catholics in the world, they are suffering loss today. And we are here live. Get the music down. Get the audio site set up, Podbean. Run a separate stream there. Good to be here. Got things going on today in our life. We wanted to be on this morning. I was a little bit late. I was up late doing some work upon the media. Kind of overslept a little bit. So anyway, a mid-morning. We'll come back in, talk about some news we didn't get to this morning. See what's going on in your world. Thank you for all that are in here so far. I'm Dave. This is my son, Jeremy. See, he won't talk, but he might give you a thumbs up. I get thumbs up. He gave you a thumbs up. So he worked last night. We're working people. We work for a living. He just got off work. He's waiting on mom to finish the breakfast. Had a pretty good night. Pretty good. As long as you're safe. Got through the night. That's all good. That graveyard shift. Remember back in the early days, we won't remember it, but we hear the stories. Every once in a while, was it one out of every 25 coffins they found out had scratch marks in the inside of the coffin? They said, oops, we better be careful here. We buried some people alive. Feels like that's what government's trying to do to us. So they set up people to sit with the dead. They run little strings up the bells for so long, in case the bells went to ringing, they could dig them back up. That's a bad thought. My gosh. Well, he's dead. Bury you. Next thing you know, you're not dead. It's a morbid thought. That's one of those old tales, sitting up with the dead, ringing the bells. Now, Pope Francis, unfortunately, passed on, health problems, 88 years old. I'm not a Catholic. I'm not here to say anything negative, just a news item. Now to go into the decisions to be made for a new pope. Over 1 billion Catholics in the world. It's a big deal. And it will impact the world. Leaders are already chiming in. President Trump said, rest in peace, Pope Francis. Italian Prime Minister Francis helped in hard times, another quote. Moscow, Pope Francis developed contacts with the Russian Orthodox Church. Buenos Aires to Rome. The timeline of his life. So we'll see what happens in the days ahead as they look for the white smoke that will come out when the decision is made on the next pope. I have thought for some time that the next pope might, the Catholic Church has been shifting to try to encompass where their strengths are. And in the Hispanic world, the Catholic Church is doing very well. There are areas of the world where they have struggled, like a lot of faiths, a lot of organized religion, or whatever you want to say. But in the Hispanic world, the Catholic Church has been remained strong. And I often have thought that the next pope might be out of an area that's not your typical. Of course, they did that with Francis, but I thought it might even be more so this pope. This pope might really set a trend, a new day, in other words, not a trend, but a new day, a statement to the world of where they're at with all the troubles they've had of the last couple of decades, especially this last decade, the lawsuits and a lot of past sins come into light, as they might really try to provide a kind of a freshness, a newness to that. We'll see. We'll see where that goes. It's a negotiation. We'll see who all the Cardinals will vote for. There's some leading candidates always. So they list Cardinal Peter Erdo, 72. He's a conservative wing, part of the conservative wing of is the Hungarian Archbishop of Esztergom, Budapest, a highly accomplished church lawyer. He is noted for his lofty intellect and influence. His legal skills will be important if the Cardinals wish to reverse many of Francis's changes. There was obviously things that happened that people were not happy with. He opposed traditional Catholic teachings, making him appealing to those seeking continuity with past popes like Benedict. He has been primate of the Hungarian Church and as a former president of the Council of European Bishops' Conferences. He understands the challenges of Christianity in secular Europe. He has a calm and reserved personality, somewhat timid and risk averse, and avoids public controversy. Well, they need that, preferring to focus on the church's spiritual and moral mission. Number 2, Cardinal Pietro Parolin, 70, the Vatican Secretary of State, is one of the leading candidates. A left-leaning Italian moderate and seasoned Vatican diplomat. He has played key roles in the international negotiations, including relations with China, Venezuela, and the Middle East. He is a close and trusted advisor to Pope Francis, aligning with his vision for church reform, and the only Francis appointee who has remained in his post throughout the pontificate. A pragmatist, he focuses on dialogue, diplomacy, and peaceful resolutions rather than the truths of the faith. He is known for his careful and measured communication style. He avoids controversy and works behind the scenes. At a time when cardinals hardly know one another, Parolin is a familiar figure to all the cardinals, which helps his chances. His Achilles heel is the controversial 2018 Vatican-China provisional agreement and doubts over his orthodoxy and willingness to defend some of the church's core moral teachings. A couple of more here. Cardinal Matteo Zuppi, 68, the Archbishop of Bologna, who was born in Rome, is a prominent figure on the center left of the Catholic Church and is often mentioned as a potential candidate for the papacy. Known for his warm, media-savvy approach, he is often compared to Pope Francis in his emphasis on mercy and outreach. Although not a trained diplomat, he has been involved in international peace negotiations, particularly in Mozambique and other conflict zones. Pope Francis recently sent Zuppi as a peace envoy to Ukraine, Russia, and the Middle East. He tries to appeal to both conservatives and progressives, but his focus is distinctly on progressive politics, and he is known jokingly as, quote, chaplain, end quote, to Italy's center-left PD party. He is involved in helping the poor, migrants, and marginalized communities, especially the LGBT community. He would be very much a continuity figure, carrying forward Francis's vision, but one that many practicing Catholics will view as distinctly at odds with the Church's apostolic tradition. And then Cardinal Willem. Not sure how you pronounce his last name. E-I-J-K. 71, the Archbishop of Utrecht, is a well-known conservative Dutch prelate seen as a papal contender, a firm defender of traditional Catholic teachings, especially on moral and ethical issues such as euthanasia and same-sex marriage. He's a former physician who has deep knowledge of bioethics, making him well-suited to address modern medical moral challenges. He has led the Dutch church through difficult times, including declining church attendance in the Netherlands and church closures. As bishop, he successfully faced down opposition from LGBT groups for holding the line on the church's teaching on homosexuality, a trial that affected his health. This, together with leading the church in an increasingly secular Netherlands, has helped him understand the struggles of Christianity in modern Europe. He's known for his disciplined, structured, and sometimes austere leadership style. His conservative stance is likely to appeal to those seeking a doctrinally firm pope, especially of the ambiguities ambiguities and doctrinal chaos of the Francis years. Cardinal Mario Gretsch, 68, the Secretary of the Synod of Bishops, has emerged as a recent contender. Gretsch has been a key advocate for synodality, emphasizing Pope Francis's vision. His tenure has been marked by both support and controversy. Early in his career, he was known for his conservative stances such as opposing divorce legalization in Malta. However, his approach changed after Pope Francis' election, adopting more progressive views on issues like homosexuality and same-sex civil unions while maintaining opposition to abortion. He played a central role in drafting a document that allowed divorced and remarried Catholics to receive communion under certain conditions. Critics accused him of heavy-handed tactics during its implementation. More recently, Gretsch has faced criticism for his comments on sensitive topics like the German synodal way and female diaconate, but remains a trusted ally of Pope Francis. A polarizing figure like Cardinal Zuppi, he would be expected to win supporters among progressives, but alienate those striving to live by perennial magisterium. And then lastly, certainly not least, Cardinal Raymond Burke, 76, this cardinal from Richland Center, Wisconsin, is respected by many practicing Catholics, but considered an outlier due to his respectful but persistent criticisms of Pope Francis. Burke is one of the church's foremost canon lawyers, known for his traditionalist views and strong advocacy for doctrinal orthodoxy. He is especially conservative on the liturgy, moral teachings, and church discipline. Has been a vocal critic of progressive theological interpretations and is seen as a leader among conservative Catholics. The cardinal has not hesitated to challenge high-ranking church officials, including Pope Francis, particularly on issues such as communion for divorced and remarried Catholics, LGBTQ plus matters, Catholic politicians such as former President Joe Biden receiving Holy Communion, and many other matters relating to doctrinal clarity. He is a strong proponent of the traditional Latin Mass and has defended its place in the church, even as Pope Francis had restricted its use. Many see Burke as well equipped to correct the excesses and abuses of the Francis pontificate and able to bring everything back on the even keel. However, his chances of being elected Pope remain slim due to the makeup of the College of Cardinals, and because a cardinal from a superpower is usually not considered. That's true. They usually go for the outliers, smaller areas. But I still, that's interesting that those are the contenders. But there you go. That's what is being reported this morning on Newsmax, that these are the possible successors. So you don't experience many of these in your life. I mean, there's only a handful. Some of them serve for a long time. So you don't see this every day or every year or every decade. So the world will sit up and pay attention. Argentina mourns hometown Pope Francis. Taiwan sends condolences to the Vatican. Some of the as more and more information rings from around the world. As we reported yesterday, it is in the news that peace in the Middle East, peace in Ukraine and Russia. They hope to make a deal this week. Sure hope so. That would be nice. They've had them at the negotiating table. A ceasefire was declared for Easter, although there was accusations that both sides broke it. But hopefully they can get something more concrete, at least a 30-day, and move on to longer lengths of time. Interior Secretary Burgum, Trump fighting against world mining. His tariffs on China has raised questions about the issue of rare earth minerals and their processing. But Interior Secretary Doug Burgum said Sunday that part of the dilemma lies in the, quote, war on mining that was waged under the administrations of former Presidents Barack Obama and Joe Biden. Quote, if you go back to the Obama-Biden administrations, we're in a war on mining in this country for anything, not just rare earth minerals. End quote, Burgum told Fox News Sunday. It's not just drill, baby, drill, but it's map, baby, map. We've got those materials in our country, so it's time to mine, baby, mine. You know that Trump will be announcing a resolution on copper mining soon. This has been a 30-year saga in terms of getting permitting, said Burgum. In 3 months, President Trump has got this rolling again. Copper is key for electronics. It's key for military uses. Trump also wisely declared energy emergency on the first day of his presidency, the secretary said. This includes critical materials. There have been only 2 mining projects ever that have been put under an authority called FAST-41, said Burgum. President Trump added 10 more mining projects to that list this week. All of these things will help us in the competition against China. Meanwhile, coal production is also vital to the plans for energy, said Burgum. We have in America the cleanest coal production in the world. There is a coal plant that has survived the war on coal for the last 20 years. Coal has many uses, including thermal coal for electricity, metallurgical coal for steel making, and other critical minerals. When we talk about renewables, we're talking about things that are weather dependent, said Burgum. When President Trump was sworn in on January 20th, that was the highest peak load for the grid in this area of D.C. to New York. On that day, 70% of electricity was coming from fossil fuels, 22% from electric. How much was coming from renewables? 0 from solar. Solar power, he said, has a catastrophic failure every day. China, however, opened enough coal plants last year to power all of California, said Burgum. President Trump is doing the thing where he cares about the economy, he cares about people, he cares about affordability. The path that we're on was destabilizing our grid, raising prices, and helping our adversaries. Burgum said he has confidence that Trump can negotiate deals with China. We found a lot of cards in our favor. He said China imports 11.5 million barrels of oil a day. They import about 25% of the calories they consume every day. That means the United States is a, quote, superpower, end quote, in both food and energy, and China is highly dependent, said Burgum. We have allowed ourselves to become dependent on their supply chain for critical minerals. This is the one piece we have got to undo. I want to add into that yesterday I noticed the falling gas prices in our area. The low I seen was $2.49 a gallon, with a high of $2.79 a gallon. That has really dropped because we were up around 3 and above for a long time. Of course, even higher than that going further back. But gas prices have been falling in our area, and that's a good thing. So my wife, I mean, when I saw $2.49, I couldn't believe it. And of course, I believe it can go even lower. We had got down to under $2 a barrel, $2 a gallon at one point during President Trump's first term. And I know if you go too low, then it's hard for them to make the profit. But I think there's a good balance. And I think we can get to a part. This will help in every area. Energy cost drives everything, from the goods and services to not only powering the electricity for your home, but the fuel to get the goods to your store or shipped to you, or however you're bringing those in, and everything in between. I mean, it's amazing. So the lower the energy cost, the better it's going to be for Americans, put more money in their pocket. We're not in the heat of the summer yet. That energy grid will be taxed. And I don't mean taxed as in money. It is that, but it is taxed to the breaking point at times during the summer. There are power sheds that occur. There are power outages that occur. There's rotating outages that still occur. If you think in this day and time, that would not happen. But the grid is really hit so hard. And we have a nuclear power plant in our area. So it's in some areas, it's just constantly power up and down. That's not good. We're a superpower. We shouldn't be going through this. We need to get that fixed. And yes, it may hurt for a while. The money is going to have to be needed to fix that electrical grid. But they've let it go for far too long. And I think it's at least a couple of $1 trillion to really fix a lot of the issues. So, let's save some money, because we got some things to spend it on. Infrastructure, our bridges and things that are outdated, not even really being tested, to see where they're at. They're behind on those things as well. But when they do, they're way out of, their date of replacement and or upgrade is way past on a lot of these bridges. And we've seen fail rates. It's just unacceptable where people are dying. We need to get those things fixed. And I think the more we can drive the self-sustainment, get jobs, get the economy really booming, again, then we can see a lot of these things fixed, because there'll be money that'll be flowing in. We can get the budget set. We can reduce the debt. We can accomplish all those things. So it's good to see a lot of those things going on. And I don't know if there still would be a mineral deal with Ukraine or not. That's kind of quieted down. That was announced that was going to be announced quickly too, and that didn't happen. So we'll just have to see. But we certainly need to make sure we've got all that material and not relying on China for it. Deported illegal alien and suspected MS-13 gang member transferred from notorious El Salvadorian mega prison. They have moved him. He's been transferred from that prison. He, of course, Senator Chris Van Hollen, Democrat Maryland, went down and had the Margarita Summit with him, pushing for his freedom. Of course, there's judges that are they said they didn't want him to go. This has been the ongoing fight. He's been placed in an administrative building in Central Industrial, a room of its own, with a bed and furniture, and that he was not in a cell. In an ex-post on Sunday, Van Hollen called out President Donald Trump, writing, "When you defy court orders and defy his constitutional rights, you threaten them for all." Well, he's riding high on his soapbox. Trump can post all he wants, but a federal judge says there's no evidence linking Abrego Garcia to MS-13 or any terrorist activity. Trump needs to put up or shut up. He puts in capital letters. Trump has argued that the radical lunatic Democrats are portraying a false narrative of who Abrego Garcia really is. Radical lunatic Democrats and their comrades, like he puts that, in the fake news media are falsely making Kilmar Armando Abrego Garcia out to be a very sweet and innocent person, which is a total, blatant, and dangerous lie, Trump wrote in a post on his social media platform, Truth Social. Of course, this has been a rally point for the Democrats to attack the president. I have no problem that he was deported. If we have to bring him to U.S. soil, I've said put him in Gitmo. They can visit him there all they want. It's amazing how much they're trying to make this like they're on the side of the Constitution, they're on the side of right, they're on the side of the people, and they're trying to get that back. They realize they got their socks blown off by the election, and over 80% of Americans are pretty much supporting Trump. Well over 70% are firmly in his camp. They were roundly defeated, and they're trying to prop up themselves and look good for the midterms as they recover and try to find a suitable candidates to run in 4 years, or basically that will begin in earnest right after the midterms. So they're positioning and trying to make sure that they get attack the administration and rip, and they just see this as gaining traction. Of course, there's been some protests. There's always, it's no problem to get protests. You can always get somebody to protest. Well, that's fine. It's legal, and we support that. But if they can't get enough people, they'll pay some people. We know that's happened. They roll them in on the buses and pay them to be somewhere and protest the administration, protest Trump, and try to make him look bad through all this. But I have no problem with this guy with deported. David Hogue donates $100,000 as plans to shake up Democratic Party to ignite civil war. David Hogg, excuse me. He's been kind of out of the news. He's trying to reinvent himself. He had to lay off some people in his little organization. So now he's trying to be radical. He's always been radical, but really throw himself out there. He wants to plan to primary ineffective Democrats igniting civil war in party. James Carville, the longtime Democrat strategist, called David Hogg's initiative, quote, insane. Well, that kind of describes him, not just his plan. It describes him. He gave the $100,000 to the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee, DCCC, shortly after his plans to shake up the Democratic Party with new leadership angered party insiders. The news, which was first reported by Politico and Axios, was confirmed by Hogg in an X post on Friday when he asserted that he wasn't playing nice, quote unquote, by handing the six-figure donation over to DCCC. Quote, this is not me playing nice. It is demonstrating my commitment to winning back the White House and making Hakeem Jeffries the speaker, which is an absolute imperative, Hogg wrote in the post. But we need a better Democratic Party and need to get rid of the Democrats in safe seats who do not understand what is at stake right now, who are asleep at the wheel, not meeting the moment, and are a liability now in the future of our party. The 25-year-old activist added that the path forward, quote, requires us to do both things, end quote. We absolutely cannot wait for people to retire. Oh, God. Oh, yeah, he ticked some people off. We absolutely cannot wait for people to retire at their own leisure or let them sit there and do nothing while the country is burning. You help do the burning. Hogg originally announced his organization, Leaders We Deserve, planned to dedicate $20 million to electing younger primary candidates against older incumbents. The Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School shooting survivor predicted that some incumbents will rise to the challenge and emerge stronger due to the initiative. First of all, his organization don't have $20 million to give out. They are at a funding crunch. He's trying to get himself back in the news, but they've laid off staff. They may still have some money coming in, but this organization is not flying high right now. If we were to talk about boats rising and sinking, his boat is sinking. This guy will be an afterthought in a short while. His 15 minutes of fame is about up. He's trying to be relevant, but he's not. It's kind of like Greta Thunberg. Boat sinking, right? I mean, it's just her. There'll always be people put her up on the stage. She just rattles off the same old diatribes, but you notice you don't hear as much about her. Boat is sinking. Absolutely. This guy's always been people even in the school talk about what a nutcase this guy was. You know, I hate what he had to go through, but you know, we know what his agenda is. His agenda is to strip rights away from Americans. The right to bear arms. That's what he wants. That's exactly what he wants. He's not secretive about that at all. He throws it just right out there, right in your face. That's exactly what he wants to do. But so now he's threatening the primary, these older Democrats he sees in his way. Well, you know, you're going to get spanked by your own party because there's one thing about it. Politics is politics. And you might unite against conservatives and Republicans and the president. But when you start eating your own, well, that's what's happening in the Democratic Party. They're eating their own. This guy got the power, the muscle to do what he thinks he's got. He's the little chicken that could. He can't. And he'll be eaten alive by that old guard Democratic Party. Just sit back and watch this. This is a popcorn moment. And when you got James Carville out there saying the guy's insane, you might as well just pack it in, buddy. I mean, when a Democrat's going to call out another Democrat and call him insane, that just tells you how bad this guy's overstepped. He thought he was big. He thinks he's bigger than what he is. He thinks he is the face of the new Democrats. No, you're not, buddy, and you're going to get crushed. He's not even. Hakeem Jeffries is not. I mean, there are people that would like for him to be in that seat. He's just repeating what he's heard anyway, because he thinks that's a guy that he can work with, who says radical stuff too. You know, he's trying to appeal to the young crowd to push out the older crowd. But guess who's got most of the money? Sorry, Bub. Even your Democratic funding, because there's nobody on the right that was supporting you, and a lot of your funding's already fallen by the wayside as money's tight because of their policies, and because they think you are insane. But now that you've come out and called them out, like we're coming after you, watch the rest of your funding dry up. You might be working the drive-through at the McDonald's very soon, but you can't do it as good as Donald Trump. This guy's a joke. He has been. He tries to play victim. He tries to act like his importance in that unfortunate event, which is a horrible event, was greater than what it was. But you talk to people there. I wasn't there, but you talk to people who's there. They'll tell you exactly what this guy is. He's a rabble rouser. The guy is just he's trying to make a name for himself. He's trying to enrich himself. And of course, a lot of people believed in him. but that's drying up. And now that he's come out and just go ahead and do that, buddy. See how that works for you. See if you're still on the Christmas list. Your Christmas card's not coming in the mail. You're getting an eviction notice, buddy. Your little organization's fixing to dry up. And if I was a worker in his organization right now, I'd be actively I'd get my resume up to date, check out, my resume, make sure it's all good, and start putting some feelers out there for a job, because this guy's organization is going to dry up. This guy ain't gonna have no money, and just help. It's quick. It's going to quicken it. He donated $100,000. He think that's going to reinvest him into a couple million. It's not going to happen. He's going to find out. There's been a lot of Democrats thought that they could take on the leadership of the Democratic Party, and when they don't have the muscle to do that. I got to give them credit. I mean, Pelosi and some of the old guard Democrats. I can't stand their policies in the way they do, but you got to give them credit for one thing: they will shut down any and all challenges to their ruling and authority, and that even though she's not the speaker right now, she's still the voice out there. They still come to her. They kiss the ring. Pelosi is still very entrenched into decision making within the party, and the Obamas and everybody else. This guy is just a useful idiot, and his usefulness is dried up. That's the way they look at you, buddy. You think they ever really liked you? They don't like you. You're a useful idiot. You were never going to be a part of the team. You were never going to be, sitting up there on the dais with them as a mover and shaker. First of all, you're still too young for them. You don't have anything to bring except a big mouth, and that is now failing you because you've taken on. It's kind of like the militia guy that took on Putin. We're coming to Moscow, baby. It's a new day. The country's ready for a new leader. How'd that work out for him? I believe that ended with him crashing in a plane. No accident, intended plane crash into the ground. He ended up dust as he was burned up in that flaming inferno. And politically, that's what's going to happen to David Hogg. He is now being served. Ding, 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 now being served. David Hogg. We put him up. He's now on the buffet table. Good morning, South Oz, man. How are you? Appreciate you, brother. I got to check your show out, too. And good day to you. I've seen you got a show. I'm going to check that out, I promise you. Coming in on the Podbean side. God bless you, my man. Hope all is well. Down under. It's good to be here. Kind of a different time frame for me. I'm usually working around this time. I took a couple of days off. I have some things to get done. The grandbaby's got to have a re-X-ray done today on her wrist from where she fell. Temporary cast off. We'll see if I kind of think they're going to put another cast on. I hope not. I do hope not. Yes, you are correct, sir. David Hogg. I can't stand that guy. I applaud if there's a young person who is intelligent, and even if I don't agree with their political views, I can respect their drive. If they really feel like, if I feel like that they're really in their mind, they're trying to make some things better, and they are trying to work with others, when they are trying to work in their way to make the world better, and they're not just name calling, and they're out there trying to work with other politicians across the aisle, let's work together. But when you're like this guy and all you do is just trash mouth everybody and run your mouth and you make it all about you, you're a joke. And I knew this guy was going to fall on hard times. He was the flavor of the moment. Like I said, the useful idiot. This guy was the guy that everybody, they'll push you out there and let you run your mouth, I mean, he got his 15 minutes of fame. He was effective for a while because he was saying the magic words, take away the weapons, take the weapons out of Americans' hands. Oh, they love that. They'll applaud that, but they knew they were never going to embrace this guy. He didn't realize he was a tool. He was being used. He's not even smart enough to realize that. If he was, he would have pivoted into a much better stance. He's a one-hit wonder. And now, I mean, he's got one drum beat. Guns, guns, guns. This guy is now going to take on the Democratic leadership. As he said, those that are sitting on their tail, not getting anything done, the old guard. My friend, you're a fool. You're an absolute fool to think that you can do that. But go for it. I love it. Because like I said, it's a popcorn show. And I'll sit back and they're going to devour this guy. He's a 25-year-old has-been already. I wonder what he's going to do with the rest of his life, because this part of his career is over. Why don't you go out there and run for political office, buddy? Why don't you see if you can get a seat at the table instead of your little self-made organization? It always come up with stupid names. That was a stupid name too. I just never liked this guy. He's trying to go for the scruffy beard look now too. He's getting a little older. He does not look tough. He doesn't project very well at all. These people will eat him alive. The Republicans don't have to worry about this guy, because the Democratic Party is going to eat him. Absolutely eat him. I mean, everybody now thinks that they can take on Trump. Like we're gonna take him on. He's evil. He's this. He's that. And now he's the spokesperson for the party, the future of our party. But again, you were just a useful idiot. 25-year-old activist. It's just the way it's like people call themselves activists. Some people just, and to be an activist, you would think you'd have some successes. This guy can't. He's never won nothing. So we cannot, his quote again, we absolutely cannot wait for people to retire at their own leisure or let them sit there and do nothing while the country is burning. Leaders we deserve, he calls his organization. He's the kind of guy that rubs up to you at a party and he goes, hey, me and you are to get together, right? Right, big guy? Me and you, we could team up. We're a team, right? I've had people do me like this. I got a great idea. This is what you need to do. But I'm on the team, right? It's me and you. We're a team. That's the kind of guy this is. This guy is not what he thinks he is. It's all in his head. Amazing. We all want the house back. But he's taking that upon himself that they're going to get the heart. Again, though, I just think that is hilarious. James Carville. He called the plan the most insane thing, quote, he had ever heard. Carville goes on to say he's an officer of the Democratic National Committee, and so he has a fiduciary. Hold up, my page moved on me here. Duty to the Democratic Party. He's going to raise 20 million in primary Democrats. Does he really think the problem that we're facing in the United States today is because we got a 65-year-old Democrat in office? Why don't you take on a Republican? That's your job. I just think this guy, he's on his way down. Yes, Michael, I agree. I absolutely agree. Oh, my goodness. Let me take a quick commercial break, refill my coffee cup, be back with you. I'm going to stay on here a little while longer. And I got a new commercial, actually, and we'll run one behind that, a new vendor ad. Hopefully it turned out right. But, yeah, he'll be deported again. We'll be right back. David the AM here from the Southern Fried Podcast and the Cornbread Nation. We're now an LLC. In fact, we're called Southern Fried Cornbread Nation LLC. We have 4 affiliates that we are working with. On the screen, you see these: Mammoth Nation, Podbean, Dubby, and of course, Patriot Mobile. All of these are special to us. Mammoth Nation, of course, you become a monthly subscriber or a lifetime member. Use that QR code. You go through their site. You sign up with them, you're going to get massive discounts on all the vendors that they have. They're the portal that allows you to go to these vendors. They put them all in one place for you. They're American First companies, and you're going to get big discounts. I'm a lifetime subscriber, member, and Rob is a monthly supporter as well. We love Mammoth Nation. Dubby, we've been with for quite a while. You see the QR code there. You get 10% off using that promo code Southern Fried. I drink Dubby in the studio just about every day. No shakes, no crash. It's a great product. If you like that kind of thing, you're going to like the flavors. They're a lot of fun. They are really working with gamers, and they have a lot of great logos and new items, be they clothing or shakers or different things they have. You can also get it in the cans. The cans are back now. They were out for a while. I use the powders, but you can get all of that. Use that QR code, Dubby Energy Drinks. Of course, Podbean, we're on Podbean as an audio site. It helps to feed a lot of our audio MP3 sites that we go to. There's a QR code for that. You can get 1 month free by using that QR code and going there and signing up. And Patriot Mobile, what a great company. America First, First and Second Amendment, pro-life, America First, based in Texas. What a great company. They're faith-based. They have they worship the Lord Jesus Christ. They put Him first in their business. You use that QR code and you use Cornbread as your promo code. It'll be our landing page. You're going to get a month of free service. And as long as you're a Patriot Mobile, we'll be partners together with supporting a great company. And you're helping us to keep the programming on the air and to expand those options that we're doing and to be even more visible. Thank you so much for your support. We love each and every one of you. It's very humbling to us to know that there are people that like what we do, and we thank you for it. So support these great companies, and at the same time, you'll be helping the Southern Fried Podcast. And Dave and Rob, thank you so much. And all of our other folks that help us in the studio or with the programs and our families. Thank you so much. God bless. We'll see you soon.
Yes, Robert and Dave, y'all.
Southern Fried Podcast fans, this is Dave in the AM. I want to tell you about our store. We've been promoting it a little bit. We wanted to promote it a little bit more and let you know we've been adding some designs to it, and we're continuing to do that. Right now, there's a summer sale going on. You're going to see here in just a second what kind of discounts you can get. They're pretty amazing. Our old store became cumbersome and it was not easily updated, and we have since went to a new store, and the old one is still there, and if you decide to shop there, that's fine. But this is our new store, and it is so easy for us to manage, and we want to thank the folks at Threadless for that. So on the screen right now, you see some shirts, some of the different designs. One of our newest one is the Georgia outline, the red one. We really like that. You see some of our classic designs. You see some here that you may not have seen before. And again, we're designing and adding to just about every week. You see hats. There is just about anything in there, and we're trying to add more products all the time, as well as those new designs. So go shop at the Southern Fried Podcast store, and you'll be able to get some of these things too. Here's the QR code for that. You can see at the top of the page, 40% off right now. These are amazing prices going on. The store is very affordable. Me and Rob wanted as best the prices as we could get. And this is the place that we found to be able to do it. And there's the address. You can copy that out or use the QR code. We thank you for your support of the Southern Fried Podcast and watching the shows and supporting us and letting us know how much you enjoy it. You mean a lot to us. Take care. God bless. And we'll see you soon. And we are back. We are back. Yes, Jake. I am off today, although I have some things to get done. Taking care of the grandbaby today. A few other odds and ends. But I do plan to be on a couple of times a day. Got to finish up some stuff. Jeb and Bubba show. That's going to be fixed up today. I've just had so much going on. We got to get episode 2 out. Episode 1's not even out. Episode 2 is coming. We're working hard. How are you, Jake? How are you today? Appreciate everybody being here. We have multiple screens I'm looking at, so when I turn my head, I'm looking to check screens. And a happy good morning to all. Dave in the AM, your host for Southern Talk. Let's talk a little news and news of the day and the Pope and some of the news that around the globe and around the country. Pray for Dean today, my co-host in the Southern Fried Racing Hour. He has surgery today, knee replacement surgery. So let's pray for him today. That's not fun, is it? Knee replacement. I never had it, but I've talked to a lot of people who have. I seen a guy that was posting on I can't remember which stream it is, but he started coming to my timeline. I don't know if I followed him or what, but I like to watch people and see what they're doing, even if we don't agree. And he was talking about he does a daily short post, and he don't like President Trump, but he was talking about all the colleges forming their own league together. So if, like a NATO, he called it. So if one college is attacked, all the colleges will help. So if you take money away from one, we'll jump in and help. Well, why don't we just take money away from all of them? And on that note, Trump says to yank another $1 billion in Harvard funding in latest blow over schools' anti-Semitism at Mission Defiance, report says. So, okay, NATO, the college NATO, this guy thinks it's so cool. Let's ante up $1 billion to cover it. Oh, no problem, Harvard. We got you. $1 billion, not a problem. We'll step in. All of us will, he said there's 18 colleges involved. So 18 colleges, they'll just ante up the $1 billion, and they'll take care of it, and they'll oppose Trump. He said, and that's a good thing. See how that keeps working. When your money starts drying up at your college, so how's that going to work? Oh, my goodness. Wow. Truly amazing. The world, the times we live in, the absolute crazy times we live in. Just amazing. Don't forget tonight, as Mama said, Miss Elizabeth will be joining us. Our Monday night fun time. We always get together with Miss Elizabeth. It's always fun. It's a beautiful day. It's going to warm up nicely. In fact, it's been a little hot here in our area. But we do have some rain coming in, I believe. So we'll see what happens with that. The Italian soccer, they stopped their play because of the death of Pope Francis. So like I said, there's effects across the world for these things happening. So even in the sports world, things are happening. So we'll see what happens, how quickly. And I don't remember the time frame. Seems like it's a couple of weeks. It seems like. I can't remember for sure. Of course, it can go longer, it can go shorter, but they have to go in those negotiations. They're waiting for the puffs of white smoke to come from the synod as they come together to elect a new pope. So we will see. I don't know. The coffee is good today. I needed it. I had a late night and early morning. Good to have some coffee. We don't have our coffee yet, so when I am drinking in the studio, 55coffee.com, which is advertising a lot on Rumble. Killer Carl, a great podcaster on the Rumble side, has a promo code I've been advertising, Carl15, CARL 15, which I use to get my supply in here in the studio. You'll love this coffee. Get that straight in. And it's the Freedom Blend. They have other blends, but the Freedom Blend is the one that I have. And it is excelente. I love this coffee. There's a lot of nice coffee companies out there. There really is. But there are some coffees I don't care for. They just don't have the right flavor, the right mix. This is something we're really going to be big on when we start putting our coffee out. Make sure if we like it, we figure most people will like it. But some coffees are just bitter. They just not good. But 55 coffee, that's good. I like it. I believe that comes out of the great state of Michigan. I believe that's where they're based. And I've got some Guatemalan coffee they sent me. I need to try some of it today. I haven't even opened that pack yet. I would like to try it, though. Some people are not coffee drinkers. I like my coffee, though. So good. So good. So good to be with you here. Usually I'm crunching emails, getting things done, going to meetings. I love what I do. Love my work. Love my job. But it's good to be here with you today and just talk over a few things that we see going on in the world. And we'll see what kind of news comes down today, what kind of Peter King is in the headlines from yesterday. He called Van Hollen, the Democrat from Maryland, a total hypocrite. Well, we could have told you that. He says, I have no sympathy for Garcia. He's a New York Republican. And he believes that Van Hollen was being hypocritical because he showed no concern or sympathy at all when one of his other constituents was murdered by an illegal Salvadoran immigrant into this country. Van Hollen told ABC News Sunday that his trip was not about defending Abrego Garcia, but about defending the rights of this man to due process. No, it's not. It's about trying to gather votes and pull away support from the president and trying to score some points against the administration and make him look bad. Van Hollen said the Trump administration has admitted in court that he was wrongfully detained and wrongfully deported. My mission and my purpose is to make sure that we uphold the rule of law. Oh, a Democrat is worried about upholding the rule of law. That's great to know. Because if we take it away from him, we do jeopardize it for everybody else. When have you heard the Democrats being worried about the rule of law? Well, they twisted the law around, stomped on it, kicked it, sent on down the road, and went back and ran over it a few more times in the last 4 years. But now they're concerned about the rule of law. Give me a break. They're not concerned about the rule of law. They totally ignore. They totally want to shred the Constitution. They totally do not follow the rule of law. They're forever and a day being caught doing things fraudulently, and they're not concerned with the rule of law. It's ridiculous to even suggest such a thing. But they love to throw out law, Constitution, democracy, all that stuff when they're trying to act like that they're glad to be an American. Most hate of being American. They put down America all the time. They surely have no patriotism, most of them. King said he believes that Abrego Garcia should have been deported, but he does hope that the administration can work out a favorable decision from the Supreme Court about what standards should be set in the future going forward. He acknowledged that there are always concerns that somebody who's totally innocent and happens to be in the wrong place at the wrong time could be deported to El Salvador and in prison. You can't give 1 million people full court proceeding. Well, absolutely. I mean, it's dumb. That's what was dumb what the Supreme Court said. King added that there has to be some way to show that each person is going down there that there's reasonable evidence that they are a member of MS-13 or a Venezuelan gang or whatever, because I wouldn't want anyone to be an American who happens to be in the room when the raid is conducted. Still, King said he hopes that he does think it's important that criminal immigrants be deported as quickly as possible. And I hope they can work out a facilitated way to get it done with the Supreme Court. Senator Cory Booker, Democrat, New Jersey, also has spoken about going to El Salvador. Oh, now they're all going to make a trip. Can they just charter a plane and get them all down there at the same time? Everybody wants to get in on the act now. The copycats will fall out of the sky. Oh. It's a total waste of taxpayer money for lawmakers to be traveling on deportation matters. These people have been silent when innocent Americans have been killed, King said. I've seen it here in New York, Venezuelan gangs attacking people. I don't see any Democratic politician coming in and feeling sorry for those who are being attacked. Taxpayers' money should be spent on American causes, not on publicity stunts. Hear, hear. I agree. Michael, if you want to know what will happen with Democrats, just listen to Carville, then it's opposite of his thoughts. Hey, I'm not a fan of Carville, but I do think it's funny that he attacked David Hogg. Or Hogg. Is it Hogg? It's 2 G's. Hogg. Hogg, 2 G's. We'll call him 2G Hogg. Oh man, they like I said, they put him up, in a position, figuring he would appeal to the young people. But now that he's turned and he's attacked his leaders, he's threatened them, he's taking them down. Oh, how the rocket's going to fall. It was already falling. Like I said, they laid off quite a bit of their staff. He's obviously, his organization obviously is not seeing the funds fly in. Oh, man. James Carville. I got to be honest, got to be careful here, while you're standing by. But if you ever looked at a person and wondered if they were somebody else there, I'll just say it that way. Look into the eyes, look at the facial look. If there ever was a person, that's kind of the kind of person I thought about. He has that look. And the older he's got, the more it looks like it. And the more he says. Michael, I hope you're doing good today. Keeping things straight over there in your part of Georgia. Making sure that everybody's in line. We don't need no gang members over there showing up, showing out. You got to take care of the security over there and keep things all nice and peaceful. After all, the Southern Fried River flows close to you. It sure does. It comes down through that valley. It ends up in South Georgia and empties into Florida River somewhere, sight unknown. They've never been able to fully discover where it goes into. It just disappears. The Southern Fried River. North to south through the state of Georgia. It's good to be here, though. It's good to be. It's good to be alive. I mean, it really is. Ain't it great? The alternative is not so good. I know where I'm going, but come on, it's good to be alive. Yeah, he keeps telling Hillary will deal with him. Yeah, he might not like that result. There's been a handful of Democrats to sort of come out and challenge their leadership. Where are they at today? They're not around. Their careers squashed. They will squeeze you out in a heartbeat. Go ahead and do that, big boy. I'm ashamed he's named David. He's not the David that he should. He's not living up to the grand and glorious ideals that a David should be living up to. We'll just say that. That's another reason to hate the shooter at the hospital, right? Ain't that another reason to hate this guy? It's horrible what he did. It's evil. God bless all those parents and all that happened there, and all the politics that school has been used for. But we would never known about this guy had it not been for that shooting. This guy would have been working in a bank somewhere as a teller. Nothing against tellers. Oh, he might have been a loan officer after a certain amount of time, That's the kind of guy that tells you no. Oh, I'm sorry, we're not going to be able to help you. We have to fill our demands here for certain kind of loans. And I'm sorry, you're just too conservative to get the loan. That's the kind of guy, I can't go on record and say that, but I'm just telling you, if you're a minority or if you were illegal or something like that, we could probably get you the loan. But because you're a regular American, you work hard and all that, I'm sorry, we just can't help you. You're too rich for our, you don't fit our policies. That's the guy. That's what he would have been, something like that. You little whippersnapper. I never have liked that guy. Never have. Day one. You're just talking crap and seeing where it would stick. He's an opportunist and a narcissist. Yes, South Oz, man. He's a narcissist and he's an opportunist. I can't stand that guy. And now, he's the Democrat slayer. He's pulled his sword out. He's holding it with two hands. And he says, you old guard Democrats that sit on the seat of do nothing, I'm coming for you and I will slay you out of that seat. We're primarying you. There's the story of David and Goliath in the Bible. there's this story of David and Goliath being the Democrat Party. There's one big problem between those two stories. God was with David in the Bible. He took on the giant and he slew him. God made his aim sure, and the giant fell. David Hogg, on the other hand, is not doing God's will. And this giant he's dealing with will slay him. It will slay him. There is absolutely no chance that this guy's going to primary people out of their seats. One, he don't have the muscle. He does not have the muscle. He don't have the political muscle. He doesn't have the financial muscle. This guy cannot. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. This is him firing off. You know, when you get down to your low of ammunition, and you realize that the game is up, you're looking at defeat. You never want to be found with bullets left. You know, with artillery left, and you have that final volley where you just unleash everything you've got, and you last as long as you can. That's where David Hogg is. He is firing off everything he can. He knows it's not going to work, but he has to try. He has to try. He has to appeal. He's hoping that somebody will bail him out and they will jump on his team and infuse some cash and buddy up with him. He's just hoping that he'll get his name back in the news enough, the cash will start flowing and things will be okay. It's over, bud. It's really over for you. You just are not smart enough to realize it. This is his final volley. This guy's going to fade into history. Nobody's going to remember this guy in 1,000 years. Nobody. This guy is not memorable. He's just an opportunist. He's a mouthy little man, an opportunist who will find out that his day in the sun is over. The storm clouds are rising, buddy. It's coming, and we're here for the party. Go ahead. And the beauty of it is, like I said, we don't have to worry about it from the conservative side. The Democrats are going to say, Republicans, we got this. We're not friends, and we fought, but this is our own. We'll take care of Mr. Hogg. He overstepped his bounds. It's the soldier who in the mafia that thinks he can take on the aging Godfather, and that he is the guy. He's got the muscle. He's fixing to find out. He's fixing to find out. The Godfather's fixing to school him. Godfather being the Democratic Party. The upper echelon, the old guard. Sal, take Vito. Go deal with Mr. Hogg. Wow. I cannot believe it. Stupidity. Absolutely, I'll use Carville's words, insanity. Absolute insanity that he would think that he could do something like this and be successful. It's a final volley. It's the big fireworks show at the end of David Hogg's political hope. It's over, buddy. You can go run for dog catcher somewhere. I know they don't call them that anymore, but the old saying, you can run for dog catcher somewhere. You'll probably lose that seat as well. Your day is coming to a close. You miserable, miserable little man. I say that with all intents intended right there. Miserable little man. Mouthy. Your time's come. It's been coming for a while. And we're going to sit back and enjoy this. Michael says he can't get all the young voters because they're for Trump. Oh, there's some nutcases on his side. There's no doubt. But the young people won't work. Where's this money going to come from? Like I said, he was a useful idiot. Even Democrats know what this guy is. I mean, come on. No way were they hitching their wagons to this guy saying, oh, David Hogg, he's going to take us to points unknown. No, they said, oh, yeah, push him out in front of the cameras. Yeah, he's got, he's relevant right now because of the messaging we want. We want the guns gone too. Here's a young guy, clean cut. Yeah, he's a little man, but we'll push him out there. He's now too big, officially too big for his britches. And again, his usefulness has dried up. There's no usefulness left in this guy's game. He doesn't offer anything. He has nothing. He's not proven that he can do anything. He just shows up and throws remarks. And now he has the audacity to take on, and he didn't call him by name, but everybody knows who he's talking about. Everybody knows the type of people he's talking about. And then you're going to primary them and beat them? You're a fool. It's kind of like, when you see a little animal that walks up to a big vicious animal, and at first the big coyote or whatever it is just looks at the thing, and that, the little one, a little bird or whatever it is, just flies all around, antagonizing. And for a while, the bigger, stronger wild animal just looks like, okay, leave him alone. It's a hot day. I don't need to do anything. But he messes up and he pokes the animal right in the eye. Well, that's the end of it. It's over. Destroyed. Feathers seen flying through the air as he's devoured. That's the last of the little bird. That's David Hogg. He's got no path now. It's over. I love it. I love it. It's loony. It is insane, Carville. We agree. I've never agreed with James Carville on anything. But it's absolutely, you're right, it's absolutely insane. It's the most insane thing I've ever seen in one party of thinking they're going to do that. It's crazy. As he said, your job is to take on Republicans, but yet you're going to turn. I mean, it's like somebody saying something about your mama. Like, what? What'd you just say? Oh, let me help you out with that, buddy. A lot of people in the Democratic Party, they can't get along anyway. They only unite under one theme: get Trump. That's really the united theme: get Trump. But that power structure at the top, they keep everybody in line. They do. I got to say it. There's been a few others thought they would come out, and they were much more powerful than this guy. This guy has no power. Just that the media loves to sit at his feet and worship him, like Greta Thunberg. So he does have that, but he doesn't have real power. He does not have real power. And he's not going to get real power. He doesn't have that kind of muscle. He doesn't have that kind of following. And the people who do follow him, that's the people we see on TV screaming and stuff. I mean, they can't handle life. They melt down constantly. But like I said, he's got the little beard going on now. The clean-shaven look's gone. He's trying to look tough with his beard, talk tough. It's going to get him eaten alive. David Hogg, enjoy your 15 minutes of fame. The clock is ticking. In fact, it's stopped. It's not going to be rewound. Your time in the sun is over. Congratulations on a miserable life. Now go do something with your life, because there's really you don't have anything. You've wasted all this time. You thought you were building something, but you haven't. All you've built is a house of cards that's going to fall in, and Pelosi and people like her are the ones that's going to be the flamethrowers. They're lighting your butt up as you fall to the ground. You're done, buddy. You can't do that. You cannot do that. You cannot turn around and attack them like that. Stupid. I love it. I'd like to see more of it, but it's stupid. All right, folks. We're going to get off of here. We've got some things we have got to get done, and then we will be back on in the early afternoon. Going to be on 2 or 3 times today, besides what we've already been on. And get some things done. I got to go deal with some other matters. Got to make some phone calls, get some stuff done for the podcast, do some, figure out, we'll move some things forward. So those things have to be done. I can't always be on the air, even though we'd like to. Can't always do it. Got to get things done. And we're going to do that. So have a great day out there. Bless you. We'll see you soon. Enjoy this day. Don't let nobody take your joy today. Stand on that joy. Don't let nobody take your joy out. That's what they want to do. They want to steal your joy. Don't let them do it. Take care. Dave in the AM. Salute.
Well, it's early in the morning. Grab a cup and tune on in. Robert and Dave got that southern charm. Let the laughter begin. From the morning funny to Maga Minute, ain't no better way to start your day the southern way, with a little joke and pray. We're just southern folks talking southern things. Front porch swinging where the church bells rang. From Mama Said to Hum Day News, we keep it real with down home views. Sunday morning in the Word, get that gospel flow. Prayer time calls, so let's let our troubles go. Come Monday night, Mama Said is bringing the truth. And when it's night talk with Dave, man, you know it's getting loose. We're just southern folks talking southern things. Stories and sports where the good times hang. From SFP News to I Remember That, we tell it like it is, and that's a fact. Got our veteran of the week, gotta show our pride. Pets of the week, bringing love worldwide. Talking paranormal, digging true crime. Southern fried stories all the dang time.